One thing about great ideas is that they're not loud. They just keep coming back around you and in your atmosphere. It's like a gnat. Just all in your space, just hovering all over you until you are forced to interact with it. You're just swatting it and trying to swat it away. You can't do that because it's just all you can't stop thinking about it. It's just all in your mix. That's currently what I'm going through right now with this great idea that I have about starting a micro bakery from my home with sourdough. You see, secretly, I've been starting the process of finding out more information about what this will look like. What all does this entail? What's the workload? Have you ever had a great idea that you were less than keen on starting, but it just kept coming back to you? Sometimes we just got to pay attention and the rest will follow. Everything else will fall into place. But we don't even ever give it a chance because we too busy trying to detract and chase the next thing, just like we do in all aspects of our life, right? I think that throughout the course of a lifetime, we have thousands, if not millions, of great ideas that are bestowed upon us that just drive right past us. And we don't even think twice about it. Why is that? Why is it that God gives us assignments, yet we rebel against him? Because we don't want the responsibility. But yet we ask, why haven't we had our breakthrough yet? God, like, I sent the ship, I sent the boat, I sent the yacht, I sent everything you asked for, but you didn't want to get on. That's our fault. When are we going to say to ourselves, hey, let me walk this out. Let me see what this is about. So for me, I've been in the process of actually baking sourdough. I've been doing that with my wife now. Well, she's been doing it, and I've been more so figuring out how to make sourdough. Like, she has it down packed, as I've told y'all. But where we complement each other is I'm more so the business-minded one, and she's practical when it comes to baking things. Far better baker than me. But I see the economics behind baking. It's literally profitable. It's a profitable business model. And there's two types of content that I can shoot. It's entrepreneurship content, which is pretty much is a sub-segment of the type of content that I'm doing here on my main channel with you all. And then there's the get ready with me in a day of life being get ready with me being a micro baker. You know, going to the farmer's market, showing you my process, weekly vlogs of that series. So all in all, it's a win because it's more exposure, right? So with that being said, it's two things that follow my thought process. First, it's like I have yet to see. I've seen men in this field, in this lane, but it's more so dominated by women, white women. Not that that matters, but I'm just stating the facts. I don't care what color you are. I'm just saying the makeup of the demographic that I see. And then the men, it's not too many men. And I have yet to see one black person baking sourdough, at least from the stuff that I've been watching. And not that that matters. I'm just saying maybe I need to broaden my horizons. They probably are out there. There is one dude on YouTube from the UK. I forget his channel name and business name, but I watched a lot of his content. He's super dope, super dope. He kind of inspired me to kind of go for it. And sourdough is one of those things where under cottage food law, in most states, you can make as much money as you want as a cottage food baker, as a food producer. So if you think about it, the entry level to something like this is really low. Only thing that's stopping me is me. I mean, all you gotta pay for is flour, water, and salt. That's all sourdough is. And then if you want to start making, different flavors, like you could do like a jalapeno cheddar, you can do a rosemary garlic or something like that, something with raisins, something with blueberries. You can do so many different flavors. So you're just paying for the ingredients and then you mark it up. Simple as that. So where it works in this business model is when you produce more volume. So a lot of people start off with, a little Dutch oven, maybe two, and they're just baking out of their regular home oven, and they're, giving testers out to their friends and family, and that volume starts to pick up, and then maybe they might enter a farmer's market, and then that starts to pick up. Now they have their own clientele based on, gathering numbers and emails. So with that being said, I mean, you start to see slowly how it turns into a very profitable business. And then there's really like home-based commercial ovens that you can use for a home sourdough bakery setup. I saw one that was priced at like $9,000, but allows you to produce 12 loaves in an hour compared to only 2. So like investments like that are well worth it to me. Excuse me, y'all, if it's too loud. It's a school bus that are about to drop off some kids in the neighborhood. Oh, sorry, it's the City of Public Works doing something. But yeah, for me, I mean, the proof is in the pudding, I was seriously kind of brainstorming this out today as I was working. And I was thinking that, man, I could turn my whole basement area into a mini bakery of sorts, and really bring this thing into flourishing, where I really wouldn't have to, be all in my kitchen. I mean, if I had to, sure, cool, but other than that, it's one of those things where I could literally transform my basement area into a bakery setup. I can get some, a nice commercial table, food grade containers to store things, maybe a fridge to store, the starter as it's rising, some racks. This could be a real thing. Mind you, I don't have to pour all that money into it. I could just start off with, buy another Dutch oven. It's the only thing I have to do. Everything else I already got. We have one Banneton. We have one lathe. We have one, I forget what you call it, the thing to score the bread. We have one of those. My wife had just got all that for Christmas because her mom saw that she liked baking bread. So honestly, all I have to do is just, if I want to speed up some things as far as production, I would just get another Dutch oven and see how much output we could produce. And then from there, you scale up and get ready for the summertime, right? Or springtime. And just see how much you can sell. Then that turns into other things like cookies. I could literally be baking cookies and bread, sell them at the farmer's market on Saturday. I can spend now until early spring perfecting the recipes. This idea just keeps coming back to me, keeps coming back. My wife was like, well, if you want to do it, let's do it. I'm not going to start it. You got to start it. So it's all on me. It's an idea. And then from that point, if I really wanted to start a real life bakery, I could. But there's a lot of overhead and compliance with all of that. Whereas I can do this out the comfort of my home, and I'm well within the law because it's under cottage food laws. So it's one of those things, like, I keep asking myself, am I being over obsessive and just like, am I contemplating too much? Or is this a sign from God? I'm more so along the lines like, let's do it. Because I always said I was gonna start a juice company. The juice company was gonna be, it's another passion project of mine. I was gonna start that by myself, but then one of my large brothers said they had an interest. And so now I'm just waiting for his situation to get right. He's in school right now. And that situation is gonna come to fruition one day. And the wife always wanted to start a business with me. And this is, like I said before in a couple of videos ago, this is like the one idea that we can agree upon that I would be willing to try. So that's my 2 cents on that. But while I'm talking about that, what about you though? What idea continues to come to mind, but you have yet to act upon it? What makes you tick at night that you didn't start yet? What do you frequently hear yourself saying that one day I'll do that? What do people always tell you that you're good at, that they wish that they could do? What comes easy to you? What's so effortlessly to you? What's effortless to you? Those are usually our gifts, yet we rarely develop them. We write it off as if we'll have that ability for forever. But little do we know, if you don't use it, you'll lose it. Got to give that power to somebody else who's willing to foster and develop that. Don't take your gifts for granted, people. They were given to you for a reason. Hell, I didn't know how to bake sourdough bread. My wife didn't either. Her brother gave us some starter one day, and so this is another thing. So I'll tell you about this idea has just been floating around for so long. So actually, the reason why my wife got started with sourdough is because her brother, he's not, I wouldn't say he's all into sourdough, but his sister-in-law gave him some sourdough, and they, he takes care of his kids, and they do all type of things. They grow stuff in their garden, and they cook a lot at home. So he was like, "Man, Tice, you should take some, and you should try it out." So I wasn't really into it at the time, so I was just like, cool, whatever. And they gave us a starter, and it just didn't. I think we didn't do it right. We tried to make like some wheat bread or something, and it didn't turn out. And I was like, yeah, I'm cool on that. And we didn't do anything with it. So I think the starter just went bad. We didn't do something, and we had to throw it out. But then my wife went back to go visit her brother at some point when she was on like maternity leave, and basically he gave her some more. And she brought it back, and ever since that point, which was probably like 3 months ago, my wife literally has figured out how to make sourdough. She has gotten the whole process down, and she's been trying to teach me for forever. So it goes back to the point that originally this was for me. It had nothing to do with my wife. I just didn't want to do anything with it. Because I thought, yeah, whatever, I'll get around to it when I get around to it. But my wife stepped up, and she figured it out. And let's just say my wife was like more so business minded. My wife could have ran this with this business model and never even wanted me to do it with her. But really, what my wife is really on, she's like, I want you to do this because you've always wanted to start a business and I know that you would be good at this. That's really what she's thinking in her head. That's really what she told me. I just was like, I don't know, you know? What would I look like? A dude baking bread. But the more and more I frame it, I would look like that dude baking bread. Hello. And it's one of those things where, like I told y'all before, I don't see too many black dudes baking bread. But that's dope though, because again, not too many dudes baking bread. Most people got to go to the store and bake their bread because A, they don't know how to bake bread, or they don't know what goes into baking bread as far as the ingredients. So how cool is that I have or will develop the science and the implementation of baking bread? That's an art form within itself. And I'm a very artistic person. So what y'all think in the comments? Should I go forward with this idea? And then we should look back at this a year, 2, 3 from now and say, man, he actually did it. I think that might be a good idea. It's the idea that keeps on coming back and it won't get out of my face. I keep swatting at it. I bet God has placed something on your heart for you to go ahead and start and foster. But you keep saying, I got time. You keep saying, someday. You keep saying, man, I'm not good enough. Or I don't know it all yet. You keep saying, I ain't got the money for it. How about you just start where you at and let the rest of the chips fall where they may? How about you do that? How about you stop asking for permission? How about you just act on free will? How about for once you say to yourself, self, I know I always ignore you, but today I'm gonna try you out for a change. I'm gonna see if you really mean well by me. Self, please don't do me wrong. Imagine how you would feel if self came back and said, your wish is my command, master. And you proceeded to have everything that you ever wanted and dreamed of come alive right before you. What would that do to your psyche? What would that do to your confidence? And what would that do to your ego? Because then now you have to be aware that because things are becoming easy for you, or things are coming to fruition, you're manifesting. Now you have to be aware of the ego coming in and taking over, because it will hijack your priorities and easily take your eye off the ball if you're not strategic. Would y'all support me in my baking journey? Baking sourdough? Would I be kind of fly doing that? Maybe I could start educating on the benefits of sourdough, how it affects your gut microbiome, how it's better for digestion than regular bread. I mean, that would just be cool to just bring y'all along the ride to watch me go from novice to professional expert in a matter of moments in time. I mean, it's possible. I mean, I'm watching content creators who are, oh, look at that little dog. I'm watching content creators who literally started bakeries in their front kitchen, in their kitchen. I find the content to be educational, and not that I'm trying to piggy off their back at all, because each individual journey is their own. But this idea keeps coming back because I've been living it for the past at least 2.5 months. Today's message is just about starting to act and believing in yourself. The universe is so vast, and we have the power to do everything that we ever wanted to do before we leave this earth. Most people never even start or try because they're too stuck in their head. They don't know how to get out of their head. They think that the world is just out there and they're not living in it. They just think they're existing. Some people literally are just under this dome of the firmament and don't even know how far of a reach that they have. Sometimes it takes an epiphany moment where God has to put all the chips on the table to say, hey, and show you the pieces on the board from a dream to make you act in real life because you got insider information. You ever see somebody and they just like know what to do, when to do, and how to do it right on time? Some of that is willpower, but I bet you God gave them a dream. It's like they've seen it before. They envisioned it before. It's like they've been in the game before, and they're being coached for one of the greatest coaches ever. It's only a matter of time before you go digging for gold and you strike it. It's only a matter of time. But you gotta get out there with your pitchfork and start digging though. Because if you never dig, you're going nowhere. You're just existing, wondering and waiting for the right moment and opportunity. My goal is to inspire someone this year to start with me their ideal business, hobby, or dream, for that matter. I wish nothing but success for everyone in this personal year one of 2026, because it is the year of new beginnings. You have to strike when the iron's hot. Not when it's cold, lukewarm, but when it's hot. When you get that download out of the ether and it comes straight to you and it keeps coming back, this time in like various different ways, iterations, but coming back to a common theme, yeah. What's meant for you is sent to you. Are you gonna catch it? Or are you gonna drop the ball? But just know, if you drop the ball might not get thrown to you for a couple more plays. Just know that. Guy got to hit some of his other receivers. Maybe give it to a different running back. You ain't ready for it yet. You got to prove that you know how to play varsity ball. Some of y'all still want to play freshman ball, JV. Nah, that ain't meant for everybody. Play on VAR. Ask yourself this though. If money was no issue, resources were not an issue, and networking was not an issue, technology was not an issue, what will hold you back from starting? What would be the biggest roadblock or bottleneck? I think once you frame it that way, it should be a no-brainer, right? No-brainer. Nothing should hold you back. If you were limitless, nothing should hold you back. You should be asking, how fast can I get it done? And scale to infinite possibilities. And then how in turn can I take these profits to reinvest and scale, or for vertical integration upward? And then starting all over and putting it into another business. And then another business. And then helping someone else start theirs. That's how they do it. The 1%. And they have no shame doing it, because they've been doing it since the history of time. It's just a matter of, when are you going to figure out that's what they've been doing? When are you going to say to yourself, I'm more than capable of doing that too? They're no different than I am. Look, they playing on the same court. We just playing from two different ends of the spectrum, on opposite ends of the court. Shout out to the neighborhood kids. They playing on their court. Are you playing against yourself? Or are you playing with yourself? I guess both of those things are kind of bad. You don't want to be doing that. Don't play yourself. How about that? Don't play yourself. You deserve better. Treat yourself as if you was a king or a queen. Ask yourself this. If I died today, would I be fulfilled with the life that I lived thus far? If the answer is no, you need to spend every living moment of the rest of your life busting your ass to make your dream come true. Not nobody else's, but yours. Did you hear me? If the answer is no, you need to wake up busting your ass every day doing what you need to do to make your dream come true. Did you hear me? Let me say it one more time. Get your ass up and go to work for you. Make it happen. Make it count today. Time is ticking, people. The more you sit up here watching me, the more time that means you don't have for yourself. I appreciate you. Thank you for being part of my squad. I'm just passionate about wanting to see everybody succeed, because everybody eats, B. Everybody. It's just a moment in time before you say to yourself, man, he was right. And it's just that easy. Here we are on, what is this, video 10? I'm losing count. I think I got another subscriber. And just a beautiful thing. I'm just going with the flow. And it's all gonna work out. It's all gonna iron itself out. We just gotta want it to. And the moment we stop worrying, that's when it all comes to us. We're not meant to worry. We're meant to manifest and bring things to life from the mental plane into the physical plane. What lane are you operating from? As I always say, if you found any value in what you listened to here today, take it. If you didn't, leave it. But what I'm most proud of is that you came to spend your time here with me today. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I thank you. I want to leave you with this. What's your idea that you've been kind of just blindly not paying attention to? Figure that out. Comment it below and start working towards that goal with all your might. I love you all. Thank you.